Yo, still bills, what's the diz? Yeah, man, nigga, fro lopsided as a motherfucker. I gotta get this shit trimmed, man. Well, y'all know the routine, y'all know the lingo, man. I just dropped my baby off at the daycare. Now I'm heading to the plantation, man. But peak game, man. Man, we gotta talk about female boxing for a minute, man. I wanna kind of dedicate this video to the female boxers, man. I'm looking at the rivalries brewing. I'm looking at the rivalry brewing between Alicia Bell Gardner. Oh, she is fine. God damn, that woman. Oh, and Michaela Mayer, she fine too. But I'm looking at the rivalry between them, and I'm looking at the rivalry like this. That I think that right there, I just like where it's going. I'm loving the energy. I'm really digging the energy of that fight, man. It's looking like when they actually meet up in the ring and clash, it's going to be fireworks. Like somebody's going to fuck to sleep. Somebody's going to sleep. You feel me? And I love that, man. I love it. But a fight that's on the horizon and now, and I'm starting to see the rivalry in it. Not even starting. I've been seeing the rivalry in it. Is Savannah Marshall versus Claressa Shields. Oh my fucking God, I can't wait. And this month we get Katie Taylor and Amanda Serrano, bro. This is a balling ass month for the sport of boxing. We get a, oh man, this is just gonna be such a dope month for boxing, man. Every week we got a big fight. This week we got two big fights. We got two names. One big fight, one name, one name fighter, you dig? But Claressa Shields versus Savannah Marshall, man. I'm watching, I'm like, man, I don't know who's going to win this fight, man. I know Claressa Shields is getting a lot, like, people are really, they're expecting her to bring her high level of boxing, the counter punching and slick and elusiveness in the pocket. They're looking at that to get her over the hump as far as Savannah Marshall is concerned, but they're really disregarding the skill set of a Savannah Marshall, man. The switch hitting, even the angles that she cuts, man, on the inside. She can fight inside and out, man. Like, I'm looking at this girl, and she's cutting. Now, she's not nearly as fast as Claressa Shields, nor is she the calculated counterpuncher as Claressa Shields. It's not even close. But what she does in the ring, the long jab, the power punching, the switch hitting, the angles that she gives her opponents, it's like, timing usurps speed. We all know that. That goes without saying. And the way she places that jab, the way that she places her straight punches, it's impeccable timing, man. And I think Claressa Shields can punch in between her not punching, but not tripping. I think Savannah Marshall can time, because that's one thing that Claressa Shields does, man. When she gets you flustered and she see, her counter punching begins to take over the fight, she'll just start letting her hands go. She'll start letting her hands go. We talking 6 and 7 punch combinations. And when you deal with someone like a Savannah Marshall, and that's enough, like, even the girls in that she's fighting in these exchanges, they punch with her. A lot of times, I've seen, they punch with her. It's just far in between of them punching with her. So they'll punch with her. They'll punch, she'll unleash a flurry on them and just let her hands just really go, because she's, at this point in time, she's not really too worried about, she's not, she doesn't respect their power. And a lot of the times what these fighters do when they get put under an immense amount of pressure, they'll throw, Hail Mary punches. It's like, all right, I'm gonna load up and I'm gonna just launch this shot with the prayer that it lands. And by that time she sees it, like, she's gonna see that coming a mile away. It's not a shot that's set up. It's a shot that's being thrown out of desperation, so she can easily evade it. But I don't see that happening so much with Savannah Marshall. I don't. Like, I don't see Savannah Marshall being in a position where she's flustered, by Claressa Shields' activity. I don't see it. I don't see it. I think Claressa Shields can win the fight. if she only throws in like 3-shot bursts. You know what I'm saying? I think if she, and I think she could beat her in the pocket too. I think she could beat her in the pocket. I think she, one thing, I mean, a lot of people get it confused when they say, you got to have power to fight in the pocket. I don't necessarily agree with that. If you can get in and get out, or be, if in situations like that, I think your defense has to somewhat usurp your offense. You know what I'm saying? So you have to be defensive minded, but active enough to where you're forcing your opponent to think. So I think she would have to take that approach with Savannah Marshall. If they find themselves forehead to forehead, phone booth fighting, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, pity pat 1, 2 to set up the big right hand or the big left hook and get right back on defense, do something. I can see that happening. I can see her not happening, but I can see her beating Savannah Marshall with IQ like that, just really shortening your combination punching on the inside. Because I think she could counter her from the outside, because Claressa Shields is a really good, she's a real good counter puncher. I think she can counter her from outside. I think she can close distance. She can slip a jab or a straight or whatever and get up under her and close distance. Get in, get right back out. I don't think she should be flat-footed and try to stay in the pocket with Savannah Marshall. But I do think she could win in the pocket if she took that approach. But habits die hard, man. So it's like, how do you stop somebody from throwing 8-punch combinations when that's just, that's ingrained to the fabric of their fighting DNA? That's where Savannah Marshall comes into prominence as, all right, cool, I want you to open up. I want you to open up because I'm going to catch you with something in between these combinations. I mean, we saw what she just did to Femke. Oh, my God. Missed the right hand. Met her with the left hook when she was coming up out of, up out of a weave. She has devastating power. And I don't think she gets enough credit for her boxing acumen. I think people just see a lethargic, straightforward pressure fighter who can't do anything other than just, she can hit hard. That's not what I'm seeing. That's what she kind of, she somewhat reminds me of a Triple G, because that's all people saw when they looked at Triple G. All they saw was a destructive pressure fighter. That's all they saw. But then when they put him in front of David Lemieux and he thought they was just going to meet in the middle and bang it out, he really showed an educated jab and an ability to maintain distance. You saw IQ with Golovkin. You saw IQ. Even with Canelo, you saw IQ. With Danny Jacobs, you saw IQ. I see IQ with Savannah Marshall. The distancing, the ability to fight in the pocket, fight from the outside, cut those angles, give you different looks with the jab, give you different looks with the uppercut, give you different looks with the hooks. That is very aggravating to deal with. Give you different look with just straight punches in general. That's aggravating to deal with. And she has power in both hands. That is going to be a problem, because Claressa Shields isn't getting out there, outlining motherfuckers in chalk. She's not doing that. And she shouldn't have to, because I think, skills beat power any day of the week. But when you got power and skill, that's where it's a head scratcher. And Savannah Marshall has power and skill. Claressa Shields has her in speed and counter punching. I think their footwork isn't as it's not as separated as those that like to think. I think Claressa Shields, her footwork comes with her counter punching. Her ability to set traps and work from the outside and get in from the outside, step in from the outside and go, close distance or whatever. But I think a lot of that comes when you're not respecting the power of your opponents. Savannah Marshall's footwork comes from, the switch hitting and, maintaining distance and giving you those angles, man. I'm really looking at this girl like, man, this is going to be Bull versus Matador type shit. I'm not too sure who wins this fight. I'm not too sure. I would honestly, I might, God, I don't want to say it, I might edge Savannah Marshall because just who Claressa Shields is. As far as I think her opening up with combinations as much as she does, that's going to be her downfall. If she can cut back on those combinations and cut into just 3-shot bursts, she could win that fight. She could win that fight. And I'm talking not just, oh, well, shit, all right, I got her flustered, I got her respect now, so now I'm going to just open up. No. I don't give a fuck if the crowd boos. I don't care about none of that shit. Just get that fight over the line. Get that victory. Don't go in there and open up and just throw all, flurries and 10-punch combinations or whatever because you have her flustered. No. She's entirely too calculated for you to do that shit and have success. She's going to find that opening down the middle. She's going to find that opening in the pocket. Because she starts opening up in the pocket. She starts opening up in the pocket. I would just set the shot up top 1-2, tap the body. She needs to be in that girl's body the entire match. The entire match. Exactly how she did not Hannah Rankin, but it was Cozen. Emma Cozen. She was in that girl's body the entire fight. That's how you need to break Shorty down. Because you cannot go in there and afford to open up. I wouldn't even doubt if they're planning on, y'all, man, we'll give her the early rounds. Let her get comfortable, and as soon as she gets comfortable and starts opening up, we're gonna start countering in between those big shots. And her, like I said, the timing with her straight shots is she has really good timing, Savannah Marshall. She has really good timing. Really good. So that right there is going to be an uphill battle to get around her, her damn self. It's going to be tough to get around. And we can't disregard the fact that you got dropped by my baby, Hannah Gabriels. We can't disregard that. Hannah Gabriels does not bang as hard as Savannah Marshall. God, I love Hannah Gabriels. I need to stop swooning over these female fighters, dude. They fine, bro. They fine. But Raquel Miller too. How the fuck about Raquel Miller? Even Amanda Serrano fine. I gotta stop, man. I'm getting off course. I'm getting off topic. But I would say the keys to victory for Claressa Shields is shortening up your combination punches in the pocket. That's what because I think that's going to be the deciding factor in who wins this fight. You shorten up those combinations on the inside, you could win this fight. You shorten up those combinations, you can win this fight. It is not out of the realm of possibility, but don't get complacent whatsoever. Even when you think you have her flustered, keep her mind thinking. Keep her second guessing. Don't open up. Don't open up on this motherfucker because, man, you already gonna have enough to deal with trying to close distance. And I'm watching this girl just consistently force these girls' backs on the ropes. By way of it, it's a Golovkin-esque jab, dog. Like, she's not, like I said before, she's not getting credit for her, her skill set. She has a solid skill set. It's not as flashy as Claressa, and that's why I thought Canelo early on would beat the shit out of Golovkin, because Canelo was a lot more flashy at that time with the head movement and the counter punching and all that. I'm like, yo, he's gonna beat the shit out of Golovkin. And then I watched Kell Brook go up there and give Golovkin hell. I'm like, yo, man, he's gonna crash Golovkin. This is gonna be easy. And I went in there and I saw how calculated Golovkin was, operating behind the jab, and just somebody just putting pressure on you alone. You got to worry about. You have to worry about how am I going to get away from this shot? You're defensive. You're entirely fixated on your defense because you don't want to get hit. You don't want to get tapped to the body. You're already winded. That's exhausting in itself when you can't see where the shot is coming from, or you can see where the shot is coming from and you have your guard up, but they're still finding ways to split your guard. They're finding that pocket behind your guard to land those hooks and those looping rights or those looping backhands. That's exhausting in itself. You backing up to the rope because you feel they power, even though you catching them on the glove, you catching them on the arm. Oh man, how am I gonna avoid this shot? That's mental exhaustion. How am I gonna get away from a shot? That's mental exhaustion. If I miss and I'm too opened up on the miss, I'm gonna pay for that. I don't want to have to pay for that. That is mental exhaustion. That's exhausting. And while you're sitting there contemplating what your next move is, they're gaining momentum and putting all types of hands and feet on you, bro. And it's, man, listen, man. Savannah Marshall is not getting. She's being knocked for her skill set in the ring. She's being knocked. They not respecting it, and I think that's problematic, man. So I don't know who wins this fight, man. I think that would be my keys to victory for Claressa Shields. Honestly, shorten up the combination punching for Savannah Marshall. I would say force her to find you, pump the jab, work behind the jab, force her to take that step in and step into the hellfire. Just work from the outside. I like how you do just Golovkin shit. Maintain that distance and work your straight shots from the outside. Use your switch hidden from the outside to give her different looks with your straight shots. That's what I would do. That's what I would say. But I don't know. I got to watch more footage before I give an accurate breakdown of who's going to win, man. But I'm going into work, man. I'll get with y'all later. Deuces.